I'm Gwen Elliott, and welcome to Start Something Big. Julie Daniluk has an insatiable appetite for helping people get healthy. As a holistic nutritionist, television host, and national best-selling author, she has found a way to channel her passion for food into a powerful career.
Put your hands together for Julie Daniluk.
Hello, thank you. So who here truly feels that food is the connection to healing? There's a couple people who don't have their hands up yet. I promise we'll get to you by the end of the workshop.
I'd love for you to share with us how you got started in the world of nutrition.
Sure. So I think the official world of nutrition started when in theater school I was falling asleep in rehearsals a lot. My blood sugar was on such a roller coaster. I had a terrible time focusing. And I realized that I was not that into studying Shakespeare. I mean, I like Shakespeare, but it wasn't really my passion. I was reading a lot of nutrition texts right in class, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And then I decided shortly after theater school that I would go back for nutrition training and really become a nutritionist. Before I found healthy nutrition, I was a whirling dervish. I was a screaming lunatic. I used to constantly cry after virtually every meal. First up, we're going to make a delicious frittata together, and I bring Lynn on because Lynn is a fantastic chef, and I credit her with actually teaching me how to cook.
Growing up with Julie was an interesting experience, especially for the first few years of our life. I'm actually 5 years older than Julie, so I remember quite well growing up in our early years. Julie actually was diagnosed with ADD at the age of 7, but before that, Julie actually had a lot of difficulty focusing and concentrating.
I did very poorly in school. They thought I might be deaf because I wasn't able to follow instructions at all. And then my mother found this incredible book called Your Hyperactive Child by Dr. Feingold. And in that book it outlined that you should remove artificial food from your child's diet because they might have a brain allergy to things like red dye, BHT, MSG, all these artificial things that we're adding to food. So my mom said, okay, I'm going to give this a crack and really commit to taking all this stuff out of Julie's diet and see if it works. Well, it was magical. It was like sleeping beauty overnight. I finally went to sleep for the first time in 8 years, and I was able to focus in school. That I pulled my grades from D's to straight A's and kept it there, and was able to truly learn all through school. So I owe my mother everything, because really without her I think I would be cleaning the theater and not necessarily standing on stage performing in the theater. If we let our blood sugar rage long enough, we have something occur called advanced glycation end products. Isn't that cool that the acronym is actually AGE? It's actually AGE. We're aging ourselves.
I find it very interesting that it was a book that your mother read that really changed the course of your life, and now you have an incredible book that just came out. So what is that like for you to have your first book published?
My first book published feels like birthing a child. I have to tell you, it feels so good to finally have it out, because when it was 6.5 years from conception to actually having it delivered. So I feel more like an elephant than a human being, but I'm just so thrilled that in 8 weeks it's now completely sold out its initial print run, and they've had to call a second printing of it, so it's very exciting.
It's amazing because it took you the time it took you because you wanted it to be really great. Like, you didn't just want to slap something together and throw it out.
Yeah, making about $1 an hour. If you think of how many hours it took to write the book, I'm not making much money on the book, but that's okay. It's not about that. It's really about sharing and about the fact that hopefully with the book gives me a vehicle to do more public talks, which is what I love doing.
So you published your first book, Meals That Heal Inflammation. Why was that topic so near and dear to you?
It was near and dear to my heart because every single person on this planet has inflammation at some point in their lifetime. So it made so much sense to me to pick a topic that every person could identify with, because whether it's arthritis, bursitis, cystitis, diverticulitis, gastritis, everyone's got one of those itises at one point in their life, and we can turn it around using natural remedies. And I think because my childhood had a lot of experiences where food healed me, I felt really confident that food could be a powerful healer. So when I had my second healing crisis in my 30s, when I had severe food poisoning, I could use food as a tool yet again to heal me. And I just wanted to share that journey because it took 5 years of real consistent eating the right foods to heal a very profound serious problem with my digestive tract that was caused by food poisoning. And I just wanted everyone to know those tools faster, because I think I could have healed in a year or two if I had the right tools, but I had to stumble into them by trial and error. And I wanted to write it all down so that other people could really fast track to healing. What is in vegetables, quinoa, beans, meats, nuts? Protein. So protein, fats, and fiber all control your personal blood sugar.
I'd really love to hear where you're an expert, what shows you're on.
My first show was The Right Fit, and I auditioned for that show just off a tape. Someone said, hey, they're holding auditions, you might want to submit a tape. So I just went into the kitchen, I cooked something, and I submitted a tape, and they ended up calling me in off that, and 10 years later that show was still on the air, which is kind of crazy. And then I moved into doing the Healthy Gourmet show about 3 years ago, and it was on the Viva network, which is a smaller cable network, and I was shocked to hear that Oprah Winfrey's network was moving to Canada, and they handpicked our show. And I got the call that we were going to be on the Oprah Winfrey network, and I was just like, I felt like I won the lottery. Like, it was crazy the day that we heard. We were just over the moon. Well, you too can make your own almond butter. So first off, we're going to take our beautiful almonds and throw those on into our food processor. And we're going to use hemp oil. Now, hemp oil is powerfully anti-inflammatory.
Seems like the way your business is going, it's just built very organically.
Yeah.
From what you do, to the people you work with, to the direction you're going.
Yeah.
Is that a conscious choice, or how does this all work?
I think so. I mean, know that I've never had a business plan, ever. But I do really get a good intuitive read off people. And when I lock into someone that I feel has a really great heart, then I want to make sure to work with them more. So I think that's how I've grown my business, is anyone who really is a good fit often has the same morals and ethics as I do. So I think that's how we all live life, is the law of attraction.
Hi everybody, welcome to the workshop. Julie and I met at an organic film festival, and I was doing the coffee. I have a coffee company here in Toronto, and she was flipping the hemp pancakes. And our eyes met, and we had a great connections, and it was love at first sight.
I typically have 1 to 3 interns at any one time. They come from the nutrition colleges. I also have event interns working with me now. And it's just a really great opportunity between 50 and 150 hours to really work with somebody who's in the trade long enough to give you those shortcuts so that you don't have to learn everything all over again. You're not reinventing the wheel.
I met Julie at the Whole Life Expo. I wanted to work with her because that's what I really want to do in life. I'm very passionate about nutrition just like she is, so I want to learn more from her.
That would be a great source of manganese, which is our trace mineral that is wonderful repair of soft tissue.
What do you think it is about Julie that's got her to where she is today?
She has a tenacity, and she is such a powerhouse of energy. She has also an integrity that sits right here in her soul, and she really, she believes in what she's doing, she lives what she's doing, she's walking her talk. So it's so easy to actually follow along with that. We've spent a lot of time teaching one another, but she is one of my greatest teachers.
We have an amazing team now with her sister and with our interns. They're all passionate, they all care, and they're extremely talented in what they do, so that we move things with much more velocity now than